Petroleum tanker drivers begin nationwide protests, threaten to exit Nupeng. Protesting judiciary workers shut High Court gate in Osun State. Police turned down 190,741 applicants in recruitment process. On the foreign scene, Philippine quake, death toll rises to 9. These are the headlines on Trust TV News Update at this hour. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for joining. Petroleum tanker drivers have threatened to exit its umbrella body, the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, if its president, Williams Akporeha, and General Secretary Afolabi Olawole do not step down. Benga Olawole, an ex-official of the Petroleum Tanker Drivers from Ibadan Depot, said in a statement on Sunday that their members would begin a nationwide protest to press home their demand. The statement directed members across the country to move with leaves in front of their trucks to serve as a warning to Nupeng and police against interference and incessant harassment of their leaders. According to Olawole, Williams is not a member of Nupeng and as such lacks the competence to lead the union. He alleged that Williams was drafted into petrol station workers of Nupeng to give him eligibility to contest election as Nupeng president, which is a violation of Nupeng constitution. Olawole further alleged that Williams planted his surrogates to collect all revenue of the union which were not used for the development of the union and tanker drivers. He called for a fresh election as members of the PTD have decided to stand with Lucky Osusan and Dayabu Garga to be the new Nupeng president and general secretary respectively. Members of the Judiciary Staff Union in Osun State on Monday locked the entrance to Osun State High Court in Osogbo in the protest against the Chief Judge, Adepele Ojo, and the management of the activities of judiciary in the state. The protesting workers, led by Benga Oludire, prevented movement into the premises. The protesting workers carried placards with inscriptions accusing the Chief Judge of refusal to pay wardrobe allowances of workers in the last 3 years.
First instance, the Supreme Court's position made some position over the matter that maybe it should go through the National Judicial Council. What the Osun State government are saying is that the House of Assembly has power to, under the Constitution as well. And then it becomes an issue for the Supreme Court. But what I will say is that all things that should be done well should be done well. The purpose of coming out today is to picketing the office of the Honorable CAJ as regards some unresolved issues between the union and the Honorable CAJ. We have been on this issue for quite some time. Like the first one that I want to mention is about the unlawful suspension of some of our members. Some of our members have been suspended for more than 3 years. They have not been paid.
As far as the issue of suspension or removal of the chief judge of the state is concerned, the law is crystal clear on it. And when we say law is crystal clear on it, we're talking about the clear provision of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria and the existing Supreme Court case, which was decided in the case of LL, a similar removal of the Chief Judge of Kwara State. So the provision of the Constitution is clear.
Now, earlier we had our reporter from Osun State, Hamid Oyegbade, who gave us an update.
Their major position is that the state chief judge, Justice Adepele, who has recently been removed by the State House of Assembly, which is generated issues. they claim that the woman has done a lot of things that was not in favor of the staff. Particularly, they spoke about not, reabsorbing some of the staff that were sometimes sacked. And despite that, those staff went to court, and the court eventually exonerated them and asked them to the judiciary to reabsorb them back into their offices. So they are saying that the refusal of the CJ to allow those people to resume back to their work is one of the things they are angry about. And they also said that there are a lot of allowances that they are supposed to be earning, that it is staff that the CJ refused to give them. They claim that all these allowances were in the budget of the Judicial Service Commission or the High Court, and that the money came through from the state government but didn't reach the staff, that they claim that the CJ refused to give them all these benefits. They also claim that for a very long time, the staff were not allowed to go on training, which is their regular routine activities in the past. That the CJ allegedly that the CJ pocketed the money that was meant for their training. So they came up with a lot of allegations against the CJ, claiming that the CJ was not paid. So that was the grievance of the JUSUN members, the Judiciary Staff Union in Osun State, and I spoke with their chairman, Oluwagbemiga Olakunle, who clearly stated all the grievances against the CJ. The workers barricaded the entrance. They prevented anybody from going. So this is the registrars are not able to go into the office. So the whole place was just deserted, except for the staff at the gate and the security operatives, the policemen, who were staying there to ensure things wouldn't go out of hand.
About 1/3 of those who applied to join the police in the ongoing recruitment process have been rejected. The Police Service Commission said on Sunday that over 190,000 of 500,000 applicants were dropped from failure to meet conditions such as age, inappropriate credentials, and inadequate physical fitness. Now, the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, southeast states, and oil-rich Bayelsa, the smaller state, failed to show interest in the police job, to the disappointment of Chairman of PSC, former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase. Arase, according to a statement by the PSC spokesman, Ikechukwu Ani, urged Southeast youths to change their indifference to police work, adding that embracing anti-government criminal gangs will not lead them anywhere. He urged them to be concerned about what will be the fate of the region in future, warning that no development can thrive in terror-ravaged communities. Experts at the Nigerian Institute of Social and Economic Research, Ibadan, have charged all tiers of government to adopt an intensive approach towards tackling the menace of corruption. The call is coming in the wake of a research project that seeks to eliminate undesirable attributes while engendering national patriotism. The report.
Despite establishing multiple agencies to fight graft, corruption remains endemic, affecting governance and businesses. Experts say controlling corruption, however, requires a systemic approach based on both rules and values, with a comprehensive strategy that addresses both the public and the private sector.
The corruption that we are witnessing is sitting more at the system level, that is in terms of the institution.
It is for this reason that the Nigerian Institute of Social and Economic Research, in conjunction with the MacArthur Foundation, has embarked on this research project, which seems to find ways to eradicate corruption in all spheres of our national life.
The problem is that we are all aware of the fact that corruption is very endemic in Nigeria. Now, what this study is trying to project is that there are several ways by which you can deal with corruption.
This seminar with the theme Corrupt Behavior in Nigeria's Public Sector, Simplifying a Complex Phenomenon, provides possible pathways through which corrupt behavior can be tracked and controlled in Nigeria.
But ours is just to conduct the research and to submit our findings to appropriate quarters. So we have policy implementers that are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that things are done properly and that our research are uptake into actionable actions.
Other partners in the quest to rid the country of graft gave their verdict on the best modalities to adopt in this regard.
There is a kind of grand and petty corruption. But what we have been doing is that we have been dealing with petty corruption, but we are not ready to deal with that particular grand corruption. So there is still motivation for people to embark on grand corruption.
Research only confirmed what we have always known in ICPC, and it's been what we have been working on to tackle corruption from every angle, not just the enforcement part of it, not just by arresting people, but also by increasing the values, the positive values that we have in this country.
The general consensus here is that behavioral change should be encouraged to reduce corruption.
As part of its continued efforts towards addressing problems of insecurity bedeviling Katsina State, the state government launched its Committee Watch Corps with the sole aim of augmenting the efforts of the conventional security agencies operating in the state, fighting banditry and other forms of criminality. Now, Tijani Ibrahim reports that close to 1,500 young men and women drawn from across the state were recruited to work particularly in the frontline local government areas in order to take part in security operations, having known their terrain better than the security agents in the most cases. The report.
Governor Radda inaugurated a Security Intervention Trust Fund Committee under the Secretary to the Government of the State, Alhaji Abdullahi Garba Faskari, with a 3-week mandate to submit its report on how to mobilize and suggest how to expend funds on security, among other terms of reference. The governor said security is a top priority of his administration, as 22 out of the 34 local government areas in the state are severely affected by the problems of insecurity. Hence, the training and equipping of the Community Watch Corps serves as an emblem of his commitment to security, peace, and community-centered advancement.
You have been saddled with the responsibility of facing a deadly enemy who has no respect for life and peaceful existence. Those bandits have brought pain upon our mothers, daughters, sons, and fathers. It is our religious obligation to protect them.
Chairman of the Katsina Community Watch Corps, Major General Junaid Sani Bindawa, retired, expressed confidence that the insecurity bedeviling the state and the northwest region could be mitigated through that kind of arrangement as done in other climes. He said the young men and women were trained in weapons handling, counter-terrorism, first aid, civil-military relations, and other security-related activities in order for them to assist the security agents in mitigating the security challenges in their various local government areas. In an earlier interview with the Katsina State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Dr. Nasir Muazu, the Commissioner said the Corps had the requisite legal backing as a bill seeking to establish it was transmitted by the State Governor to the State Assembly, which debated and unanimously passed it into law, which was subsequently assented to by the Governor. Dr. Muazu said the Corps members have gone through 2 months of intensive and rigorous training by experts in order to bring them up to the task ahead of them. Talking about the kind of weapons the new security outfit will be handling, Dr. Muazu said it is going to be operating within the purview of the law, leveraging only on what the law has provided for in addressing issues of insecurity, saying we will not do anything prohibited by the law. In terms of the remuneration and other welfare packages, the Commissioner said the government has provided for allowances all across the structure.
Because of the importance and significance of the core, taking into cognizance of the insecurity in the state. And we are left with no option than to have this kind of establishment. So they fast-track the process, and we're able to get the legal backing to establish the Community Watch Corps.
From inception to date, the Corps had recorded some successes, losses, as well as got involved in some controversial operations. In terms of success, for instance, the Corps was said to have killed a number of bandits, including a kingpin who was identified as Sheikh Usman in Damusa local government, as well as about 13 other bandits among those who attacked Zakka community in Safana local government area recently. However, the attack in Zakka, one of the operatives of the Corps was said to have paid the supreme price alongside one other police officer. Equally, the Corps was enmeshed in controversy when a family of one Alhaji Hamza Zakka accused some operatives of the Corps of killing him extrajudicially over alleged involvement in sharing information with the bandits. Johnny Ibrahim, Trust TV, Katsina.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Jigawa residents find alternative means of livelihood through irrigation farming. Details and more after the break.
Why did you develop this reputation as somebody who is difficult to work with?
I will tell the truth. No matter whose ox is good, I will say exactly how it is.
This is why I actually sympathize with commissioners of nowadays, where a commissioner sometimes is just a picture. You find somebody, even a cleaner and the governor's wife, can interfere with their abilities.
Even the ministers, there are very many who respected me, simply because I never complained about them. I never went to ask for a favor, never.
So none of that has happened?
Nothing.
But if it hasn't happened, do you have hope that now another government coming in?
There's no hope.
So you've given up
I've given
politics?
I've given up. It's gone, it's gone.
Retrenchment from work is the most hated thing by unions. It's loss of job means that is loss of life, in fact, for civil servants at that time.
Nigeria's economy, Nigeria's security, Nigeria's intelligence, this is what the materials we were handling. And I thought government would be very interested.
The reasons why you adopted federalism is not because of finesse, not because you like it. It's because of its functional utility.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here's a reminder of our top stories. Petroleum tanker drivers begin nationwide protest threaten to exit Nupeng. Protesting judiciary workers shot High Court gate in Osun State. In other news, a gas explosion from a pipeline operated by a multinational oil company has rocked Omoku town in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni local government area of Rivers State. The incident, which occurred on Saturday beside Grace Orphanage home of Egbada, road in Omoku main town, is believed to have been caused by equipment failure, as the pipelines were set to be laid by the company since early 1960s. Confirming the incident, the Egbema Voice of Freedom said that the ruptured gas pipeline was yet to be clamped, as residents around the area are now at risk of fire explosion. Now, leader of Egbema Voice of Freedom, Pastor Evaristus Nicholas, said that the pipelines are old and obsolete and should be replaced immediately. Youths in Baranda community, Dutse local government area of Jigawa State, have found alternative means of livelihood through irrigation farming. This came amidst lingering economic crisis bedeviling many homes across Nigeria. In this report, Trust TV's Adamu Imam takes a look at how dry season farming gives hope to the people of the area. The report.
The socio-economic challenge prompting rural-urban migration is gradually becoming history as a result of irrigation farming engaged by many unemployed youths in Baranda community. District head of the community, Malam Isa Muhammad, told Trust TV that now his subjects can contribute to the gross domestic product of the country with agricultural boost in the area, which also guarantees economic sustainability. Irrigation farming is evolving by the day, especially with improved seeds for cash crops like carrot, which is also lucrative. It's capital in nature. At least now I invested not less than 596,000 naira for carrot seed alone. So if you want to thrive in this, at most 1 million naira should be kept aside to see the profit margin at the end. But we need government presence here. According to Isa Baranda and Hassan Mahmouda, dry season farming has paved way for many people to eradicate poverty that is so rampant in many communities, especially in less developed states. Noting that irrigation activities is capital intensive, which requires support to thrive. Now that many youth in Baranda have resolved not to go out looking for greener pasture, this is our major occupation. We get food here, build shelter, taking care of family members. So irrigation business has built our confidence in Baranda. We appeal to government to come and establish cash crops processing company here in Dutse.
I'm one of the farmers that you have got across in the farm. You have seen me here. I can even come around 7 up to 8 a.m. being here, inspecting and monitoring how the activities of farming is taking place. Right now, I have about over 70 people in my farm doing harvesting for my rice. And these numbers of people will be taking at least 4 days in my farm. So as a youth, I am proud to be a farmer, most especially irrigation ones.
The irrigation farmers urge the federal government to focus more on cash crops production through dry season farming to close the gap in effort towards food security in the country. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
Away from Nigeria, the number of people killed in a powerful quake off the southern Philippines has risen to 9, the National Disaster Agency said on Monday, warning the toll could increase further. People fled into the streets or hid on the tables when the 6.7 magnitude quake struck the Mindanao region on Friday, causing buildings to shake and part of a ceiling inside a shopping mall to collapse. At least 15 people were injured and more than 800 houses damaged or destroyed, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council said in its latest update. The death toll steadily rose over the weekend as searchers found more bodies buried under the rubble or soil. Search operations have largely ended, but the disaster agency said it was still receiving data from some of the dozens of villages affected by the earthquake. And in sports news, the 34th Dala Hard Court Tennis Championship captivated audiences in Kano with new records set in both men and women categories. Over 100 tennis players across the country participated in the tournament at the Kano Club. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim in this report captures the excitement and fierce competition involving Nigeria's top tennis talents. The report.
The excitement at the 36th Dala Hard Court Open Tennis Championship commenced right from the start. The Kano Club was filled with anticipation as the players delivered a breathtaking display of skill and determination. The first major upset happened in the first round when defending champion Uche Oparoje was eliminated by eventual semi-finalist John David. The final of the men's category had two of Nigeria's finest tennis maestros face off in a thrilling match. Second seed Henry Atseye from the FCT emerged as the champion, defeating 7th seed Canis Abu. Canis took the game to Henry, winning the first set by 6-2. Henry Atseye had to dig deep to win the next two sets 6-2, 6-1 to emerge victorious.
Yeah, I lost the first set at 6-2. You know, we're playing with a lot of the wind, the sun, everything. But I was just telling myself, you're not the only one in this situation. He also is playing against the wind, is playing against the sun. So I just tried to keep myself, to coordinate myself and see how far I can work at, to just give out my best, and which I was doing, and it was working out for me. So I think that's what carried me through.
The women's event was won by wildcard entrant Khadija Mohammed. The 14-year-old shocked Nigeria tennis scene by becoming the youngest ever winner of the Dala Hard Court tournament.
Well, I felt good to get a wild card because many people wanted the wild card, but I got it. So I didn't want to let the people that gave me the wild card down, because there were other people they could have given the wild card, but they chose me. So I didn't want to let them down. That's why I came. And from the first day, I told the person that got me the wild card, I'm going to win. And then I did.
This lady, a 14-year-old, she will inspire others to come into this tournament. No problem. In the past, you have champions 1 year, second year, third year, same thing. So it's no longer happening.
The 36th Dala Hard Court Open Tennis Championship is certainly a celebration of 36 years' journey of success in the tennis tournament. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News.
And that wraps up the news update at this hour. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.